When I found out I hadn't been accepted into the college I'd aspired to attend, my world went dark, and it felt like the end of everything.
Wait, what? You didn't get in?
My mom looked at me with a terrifying glare as I told her the news. Well, I did get accepted into another college. My feeble voice was drowned out by my dad's stern words.
If you go anywhere else than there, I ain't paying a dime.
I don't have any money to go to college on my own. Never got an allowance, didn't do any part-time jobs, and instead studied diligently at home, aiming for my first choice. So what he's saying is, do not go to college.
Man, all that nerdy studying and you still failed. Pathetic.
My younger brother, Kevin, laughed mockingly at me. I lived with my dad, who ran a business, my stay-at-home mom, and Kevin, 3 years my junior. I've always been quiet and not good at expressing my feelings. On the other hand, Kevin was straightforward, good at being spoiled, and so adept at getting by that even his whims were tolerated. I don't believe all kids are cherished equally by their parents.
Honestly, Jake is so reserved and not endearing.
Yeah, but Kevin, he's always smiling and cute.
Parents are human after all. There probably are kids they find endearing and others not so much. Kids like me, lacking in charm, are pushed away, while the more affectionate ones, like Kevin, are doted upon. Despite being the older brother, only Kevin got new clothes, shoes, candies, and toys, while I was given hand-me-downs from neighbors. Still, I was starved for my parents' love. I devoted myself to studying for college entrance exams, hoping that if I got into a prestigious school, they might finally accept me. I had even been told by my teachers that I was almost certain to get in. But on the day of the exams, the pressure got to me and I fell ill. I forced myself to go to the exam venue, but I couldn't even complete half of the test. I deciphered the underlying meaning of my parents' words that they won't pay for my college, it's time for me to leave this house. And so, after high school, I left home. I'm leaving. As I muttered this and left, not a single family member was there to see me off. I didn't have much money on me. I got on a train without any destination in mind and headed, for some reason, towards the coast. I got off at a station overlooking the sea, and as I aimlessly stared at it, my stomach grumbled. I thought I should eat something, but the feeling of utter hopelessness only grew stronger. I lay down on the beach, curling up. No one would grieve if I die now. Not Dad, Mom, or even Kevin. But then, my body was shaken by someone.
Hey, are you okay?
I opened my eyes to find a girl about middle school age looking at me with concern. I'm sorry, I'm okay. I sat up, and the growl of my empty stomach made me blush.
Did you run away from home?
Before I could think of a response, she took my hand.
We run a hotel. Come eat something, then you can tell me what happened.
I was led to a hotel called Seaside Inn.
Mom, this guy was passed out at the beach. Please, give him something to eat.
The girl called out to an elegant woman in a dress, who frowned.
Here, dear, call me Mrs. Collins here. Hungry, are you? Come on over. It's just our staff meal, but if you like to.
She served me a bowl full of fresh seafood. Oh, thank you for preparing the meal for me. I was so captivated by the deliciousness that I eagerly ate with my fork.
So, why were you lying on the beach?
Mrs. Collins asked, and I explained how I ended up here. I was on the brink of despair, thinking I'd have to live on my own from now on. Your daughter brought me here, and you treated me to such a wonderful meal. It made me realize that life is not all bad, and that I should keep pushing forward. Thank you. I expressed my gratitude many times. Mrs. Collins placed her hands on my shoulders.
Hey, how about you working here for us? Also, you can live here.
Hearing this, her daughter brightened up instantly.
Why not?
Touched by the warmth of the two, tears welled up in my eyes. Thank you. I look forward to working with you. From that day, I was given a room in the hotel to live in and began working behind the scenes. My tasks included cleaning guest rooms, hallways, bathrooms, making beds, and other essential tasks that guests wouldn't necessarily see but were crucial. It was hard at first, but Mrs. Collins and the other employees treated me warmly like I was family. The owner chef, who is Mrs. Collins' husband, always made sure I had a hearty meal, saying, "You are still growing, so eat up." Despite his intimidating appearance like a gangster, he was caring and kind-hearted. Mrs. Collins' daughter, named Sarah, often came to the common room of the dormitory after I finished work. I'd help her with homework or we'd play video games together.
You seem more relaxed now compared to when you first came.
Mrs. Collins remarked one day. Looking in the mirror later, I felt she was right. It was all thanks to the kind-hearted people at the hotel. Wanting to give them back, I became even more dedicated to my job. After a few years, I was assigned to work at the front desk. I never thought I could handle interacting with guests, but now I can naturally serve them with a smile. I've been assigned front desk duties. I immediately texted Sarah. She had gone to New York for college to learn about business management for the hotel's future. With Sarah planning to take over Seaside Inn, I was determined to support the hotel wholeheartedly. After graduating, Sarah returned and began working as the young manager.
I want to liven up Seaside Inn even further. Jake, I need your help.
She begged me to discuss how to attract more guests to the hotel. We need to put forth the best of what the hotel has to offer without changing the current facilities. The specialty of Seaside Inn is, of course, the mouth-watering dishes prepared by the owner-chef. Until now, meals were served either in rooms or in a large dining hall, so I proposed transitioning the dining hall meals to a buffet style. Also introduced a late-night snack buffet set after 10 p.m. included in the room rate. This new plan was a hit, especially among couples, young families, and groups of friends, filling our bookings months in advance. One day, I was cleaning a guest room. A back-of-house staff member had fallen ill, and we were short on hands, so I decided to help out. I have learned to do various jobs in the hotel, as I proactively offer help wherever it is needed, whether it's the back-of-house team, maids, or the kitchen when we are short-staffed. As I was changing the bed linens, I overheard Mrs. Collins' voice from the corridor.
Your room is right this way.
She was guiding guests. I glanced up to see the guests she was leading, and I was stunned. It was my parents and younger brother. Beside my brother stood a beautiful woman.
Never thought I'd see you here.
He sneered, looking at me with disdain.
You can't do anything but clean at your age. We did right by kicking you out.
My mother mocked, with my brother joining in the ridicule.
Haha, it's so pathetic. I've taken over my dad's business and married the daughter of a renowned businessman. Quite a contrast to you, isn't it?
I clenched my fists tightly. I take pride in my job here. Behind-the-scenes work is essential for a hotel. There's nothing to be ashamed of. These words were not only for myself, but also for everyone at the hotel who had been taking care of me. Suddenly, Mrs. Collins swiftly turned on her heel.
I'm sorry, I mistakenly showed you the wrong place. Please follow me this way. Would you like to join as well, Jake?
Prompted by her, I curiously followed. From our earlier conversation, she should have realized that they are my family. Is she trying to reconcile us as a family?
Right this way.
The place she showed us was the entrance.
What the hell is going on?
My mother, visibly angry, confronted Mrs. Collins, who remained calm.
Jake is not only a valuable employee to us, but also like a family. We will not allow anyone who pressures him, kicks him out of his home, and mocks his feelings to stay in our hotel.
We've already paid our room charges. We have every right to stay here as customers. Jake, who left home on his own, is no longer part of our family.
I felt a surge of anger within me at my father's words. At that moment, I heard footsteps running down the hallway.
Catherine, I entered the room, but you weren't there. What happened?
It was Sarah, the junior landlady. Then, the woman standing next to my younger brother turned to Sarah.
I was so shocked too. Who would have thought that Kevin, my fiancé, and his parents were the family who abandoned Jake?
Sarah and Catherine had been college friends. Sarah had often talked about me to Catherine during their college days. It was Catherine's idea to stay at the hotel today. Catherine firmly addressed Kevin.
I'm breaking off our engagement. I've heard from Sarah about how wonderful a person Jake is. After hearing those harsh words earlier, I understand how poorly your family treated him. I'll report this to my father.
Kevin's face turned pale, and he was at a loss for words. My parents desperately pleaded with her.
Wait, please, Catherine. If we don't get financial assistance from your father, our company will go bankrupt.
Let's calm down. I think there's been some misunderstanding. Let's talk it out, okay?
Kevin, his face flushed, yelled at me.
It's all because of you that my engagement got called off. What are you going to do about it?
My family began hurling insults at me. I felt guilty for causing trouble to Mrs. Collins and Sarah and was worried about potential repercussions.
Get out.
A deep, forceful voice rang out from behind. Turning around, I saw the owner chef, Mr. Bob, glaring menacingly, holding a chef's knife.
If you harm this hotel or Jake, you'll pay the price.
Those words made the three of them gulp, and they hastily left the entrance. Only Catherine stayed behind at the hotel. As planned, she stayed the night after informing her father about the broken engagement and the reasons for it, and enjoyed spending time with her old college friend. Later on, I heard that my father's company went bankrupt since it didn't get any financial assistance from Catherine's father. Kevin, not wanting to bear the debt, left the house. After a while, the hotel received a phone call.
Is Jake Smith working there?
Recognizing the voice, I knew immediately it was my mother. I'm sorry, but Jake Smith doesn't work here. It wasn't a lie when I said that. After all, after marrying Sarah, I took her surname and became Jake Collins. I had already completed the procedures to disclaim any inheritance from my parents. Although I thought she'd recognize my voice immediately, my mother continued to appeal, seemingly oblivious.
Our family has been ruined because of him. He needs to take responsibility and pay off our debt. He's there, isn't he? Put him on the phone.
I could sense the intense hatred directed towards me through the phone. At that moment, Sarah took my phone.
His family is right here, not someone like you. Never call us again.
She sharply rebuked and hung up the call. Then she cheekily stuck out her tongue.
I'm sorry, I acted on my own.
I smiled and shook my head slightly. Why apologize? It was the truth, right? She cried for me and then hugged me tightly. Yes, my precious family was right here. 7 years have passed since then.
Welcome.
Being warmly greeted by Mrs. Collins and her young assistant, the visitor turned out to be Catherine, my younger brother's former fiancée. She came to visit the hotel with her husband and 5-year-old son, Brandon.
Brandon, let's play.
My daughter, Lily, ran up to him, and the two of them, hand in hand, went inside the hotel.
You can take the day off since you have friends over today.
Sarah nodded with a big smile when Mrs. Collins told her this. I'm sure tonight Mr. Bob will serve a sumptuous dinner with all his heart. With that thought, I smiled, cherishing my happiness for the day.
I opened the mailbox to find a postcard, a high school reunion, her. I occasionally meet with close friends from high school, but I hadn't attended a reunion in 10 years. That's because there was someone I didn't want to see. I went to a private all-boys school for the wealthy. To combat declining birth rates, my school merged with a sister all-girls school during my junior year, becoming co-ed, suddenly transitioning from an all-boys environment. Not just me, but all the guys were on edge. Having girls in the classroom changed the atmosphere drastically. It was no longer the sweaty, masculine odor I was accustomed to. Instead, there was this pleasant scent unique to girls, like flowers, something I hadn't noticed in middle school. The girl who sat next to me was named Sarah. She was sweet, often struck up conversations, and before I knew it, I had a crush on her. Later on, Sarah confessed her feelings, and we started dating. After we graduated from high school, Sarah and I went to the same college. However, because we were in different departments, our classes never overlapped. I joined a study group according to my major, while Sarah joined a casual tennis club for fun. Because of this, we'd meet up for lunch at the cafeteria when our schedules matched, and we'd go on dates about twice a month. I had noticed since high school that she was becoming more and more flamboyant as she got into college. She always wanted to go to the latest hotspots and fancy restaurants on our dates. For birthdays and anniversaries, she'd ask for brand name items or jewelry. Busy with my studies, I juggled multiple part-time jobs to try and meet her demands. Friends who saw me like this warned, William, do you think she's just using you? I feel like Sarah just sees you as a cash cow. While I had a growing suspicion about this as our relationship progressed, a part of me didn't want to accept it. I'd defend her by saying she has many good qualities too, and continued our relationship. On our third anniversary of dating, I had made reservations at an upscale restaurant because she begged me to. Hey, William, we've been together for 3 years. I'd like you to introduce me to your parents. Although we're still college students and not considering marriage, I thought it might be a good idea to introduce her. So, I promised to take her to my home the following weekend, the day I introduced Sarah to my parents. As soon as she saw my family's home, she whispered, "What the?" and stood still. "Come on in." I urged her and, with some hesitation, she stepped inside. Rather than a look of nervousness, a look of disgust appeared on her face. My parents welcomed her with open arms and tried to strike up various conversations, but Sarah seemed displeased the entire time.
You're always welcome back,
said my mom with a warm smile. Just a few steps away, she quickly turned around and shouted,
"What's with that dump? And your dad, isn't he just some regular guy at a company I've never even heard of? I thought that all boys school was all rich kids. What's the deal?"
With feeling disappointed by Sarah revealing her true colors, I explained, "I got a scholarship for that all-boys school, so I pretty much attended for free. By the way, I've got a few scholarships in college too. So, my family isn't rich." Upon hearing that, Sarah was furious.
"What? I feel deceived. If I'd known you were this broke, I wouldn't have dated you."
I watched in shock as an indignant she stormed off. Since then, I have never bumped into Sarah, neither in private nor at college. However, I couldn't help but hear rumors about her switching between different men and targeting the wealthy ones. On the day of the reunion, as I entered the venue, a group of 4 men who were deep in conversation turned to me and waved, "Long time no see." As I waved back with a smile, I was quickly surrounded by them.
"William, finally feel like coming to a reunion, huh?"
"Everyone's here today. We're gonna party hard."
"William, you better join in."
They chimed in together, and I responded with a wry smile, all right, all right." I became close friends with these guys during our freshman year of high school. Initially, I hid the fact that I came from a poor family and relied on scholarships to attend high school. I thought if kids from wealthy families found out at such a school, I'd be bullied. However, even after they learned the truth, their attitudes towards me never changed. On the contrary, they'd say things like, "William, getting a scholarship is impressive. You must be really smart. And while I'm just mooching off my family, you're not burdening yours. That's commendable." I felt blessed to have such good friends. It was them who advised me to break up with Sarah. I regretted not listening more to their advice when she dumped me. We picked up our drinks, shared updates about our lives, and reminisced about high school and college. It felt like we were back in our student days when we were engrossed in old stories. We used to see each other all the time until college, hanging out and drinking, but as we got jobs, our lives became busy and our meetups became less frequent. "Is this the first time we've all been together since Kyle's wedding?" I asked, trying to recall, and Ethan made a mock grumpy face. Ethan has been my best buddy since high school.
Just so you know, you're the one who's been missing. You should show up once in a while.
He draped an arm around my shoulders and gave a light clap. Sorry. I've just been staying at home a lot." That's when a chuckle echoed from behind.
"No way, a jobless dude. I mean, coming to a reunion dressed so casually, you do look broke."
Turning to the familiar voice, there stood Sarah, decked out in branded attire with flashy makeup, looking down on me condescendingly.
"Being jobless after college, such a loser. Hey, did you know his home is super rundown, struggling to afford high school and taking student loans. So poor it's cringe-worthy. Can't believe I dated this guy. What a dark chapter of my life. Back, wasted 3 years."
Her mocking laughter infuriated Ethan.
Hey, cut the crap. William now is.
He was about to charge at her with clenched fists, but I held him back. Ethan, let it go. I intervened, and Ethan shot her a resentful glare before looking away. She was momentarily taken aback when she thought she was about to be hit, but she quickly returned to her previous insolent attitude.
Why don't you losers just stick together? I'm going to be grabbing happiness unlike you guys.
She smirked, then rushed over to a man holding a big bag with a brand logo on it. She still seems to be boy hunting even at this age. The good times flew by, and it was almost time to wrap up the reunion. Who should take care of the bill?
Why not leave it to the organizer? Ethan, how much per person?
Hearing these comments from the classmates, Ethan made a sour face.
I like organizing events, but I'm not great at collecting money.
I chuckled and called out to him, well, I'll take care of it then. I didn't do anything to help with the reunion. As I was walking through the venue asking a staff member for the bill, Sarah came over again.
There's no way someone unemployed like you can afford the reunion fees, right? Can't borrow money since your family is broke too, right? Trying to play the cashier to cover your own costs. Pathetic.
Keep ignoring her. She shot me a sour look.
Hey, don't ignore me. So annoying.
Just then, a staff member came over to me with the receipt. Seeing that, the rest of the classmates flocked over.
Oh, the bill's here. Everyone pay William.
Hey, how much is it?
I took the receipt from the staff member and checked the amount. It's surprisingly affordable. Well then, I'll cover the bill for this one. Pulling out a credit card from my pocket, I placed it on the tray. Suddenly, the whole venue started buzzing.
Wait, isn't that a black card?
And it's a centurion. Seriously? It's my first time seeing a real one.
What I had presented was the Centurion card, a credit card known to be held only by the very wealthy, even among the elite black cards. As expected from an alumnus of a prestigious all-boys school, they knew their stuff.
Wow, William, that's amazing.
How rich are you, man?
What do you even do now?
All the eyes of our classmates were suddenly on me. Ethan stepped in front of me, boasting to Sarah.
He started an IT-related company while in college, and he's been raking in a significant amount working from home. He's on a different level than us.
I nudged the brooding Ethan. What's the heir to the massive Johnson Real Estate, which has branches not just here, but overseas, talking about? Ethan shot me a displeased look.
I'm just a vice president for now. I've still got a long way to reach CEO level like you.
Not just Ethan, but the other three guys were also heirs to big corporations and some of my top clients. I never imagined my school friends would become my business partners as adults. Sarah was shaking, staring at me in disbelief. Leaving the venue, she rushed after me in a panic.
Hey, wait a minute. Please, I need to talk.
Her demeanor had shifted dramatically, now portraying the innocent and endearing heroine.
After we broke up, William, you never reached out. I was so lonely, and so I ended up saying things I didn't even think. I'm sorry, but it's because I've never been able to forget you. I've always loved you.
I could sense my buddies behind me trying to hold back their laughter, but I bit my lip, suppressing my own amusement to seriously listen to her. She grabbed both my arms and shook them, looking up with teary eyes.
I've always regretted breaking up with you. I want to give it another shot with you. Please, can we get back together? This time, I'll cherish you, I promise.
It's astonishing how some women can easily flip their attitudes when they find out a guy they'd looked down on is actually good looking or has money and status. Of course, not all women are like that, but she surely is. Thank you. When I said that with a smile, her face instantly lit up. She probably thinks I've fallen for her trick. Before she could say anything, I cut her off and continued. It's because of women like you, always after money, that I became wary during my college years. Even after achieving success, I've been cautious of women drawn to me for my wealth and status. I've never been taken in, and that's all thanks to your rotten character. Seriously, thank you. I'm truly grateful. As soon as I finished, my 4 buddies behind me couldn't hold back and burst into laughter. That was a bit much. Sarah's face turned a deep shade of red, and she exploded in anger.
How dare you humiliate me like that?
I replied nonchalantly. Who's the real shameless one here? Ethan, still laughing, popped his head out and informed her,
You know, William's outfit you were mocking as too casual? It's from a top Italian brand and costs thousands of dollars. You might want to brush up on your fashion knowledge.
She felt even more ridiculed. I never want to see you again. She snapped back and stormed off. Who knows if she'll continue chasing men for their money and status, or if she'll eventually seek genuine love. Chances are, we won't be hearing about her anytime soon.
Well then, let's head to the after party.
Ethan's voice echoed in the distance.
I've recently invested in a bar around here. Want to check it out?
Sounds great.
Come on, William.
Hearing my name called, I was suddenly snapped back to reality. Yay. I replied briefly and joined the group. Thinking back to high school, even when they knew I was Pua, they remained friends. Even now, as they've become successful and wealthy, their bond hasn't changed. It warms my heart to think of such unwavering friendship. Gotta make sure I cherish moments like this and not get too wrapped up in the hustle. With those thoughts, I walked toward the bar with them. In my 26 years of life, I've never been popular with the ladies. Maybe it's because I'm an only child, but I've been a shy, indecisive person who can't express my thoughts clearly since I was a kid. In my school days, I was a loner and was ruthlessly bullied. I've never had a real friend. A girlfriend, of course, is nothing more than a distant dream. Girls usually find me creepy and avoid me, so there's no chance for me to experience romance. However, I am a healthy young man, and it would be a lie to say that I haven't had a crush on a girl or two. I, of course, don't have the courage to ask someone out, and I'm satisfied just watching them from a distance. That summer, when I was in the 11th grade, a girl from my class invited me out. The night before, I was too excited to sleep, and on the day, I carefully checked my hair and outfit. We were supposed to meet in front of the train station. Despite it being an extremely hot day at the peak of summer, I arrived about 30 minutes early. I couldn't help but laugh at my own eagerness. What will we talk about when she arrives? Where should we go? I went over the day's plan in my head. Despite standing in the scorching heat and breaking out in a sweat, my heart was leaping at the beginning of what felt like my first real taste of youth. But she didn't show up. 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I texted her but got no response. I was terribly worried that something might have happened to her, but I lost my nerve to go to her house and announced. I felt like I was going to faint from heat stroke and took refuge in the train station. Then, a group of high school boys and girls came out from the ticket gates. Among them, I was shocked to see her, chatting with her friends and arm in arm with the star of the soccer team. Hey Sarah, what's up? Did you forget we were supposed to meet? I asked in confusion, to which she looked surprised for a moment before bursting into laughter.
You didn't seriously think I meant it, did you? It was just a joke, dummy.
With a cruel smirk, she was drawn into a hug by that handsome, sunburned star of the soccer club.
No one's gonna give the time of day to a loser like you.
Everyone burst into laughter. In response to my stunned silence, Sarah said, I only invited you as a penalty game. Don't get the wrong idea. I don't remember much after that. I staggered home and collapsed on my bed, eventually had a fever, even though I loved her so much. Sarah had only asked me out as part of a penalty game, and within that day, she had completely forgotten about her promise to me. Heartbroken by the harsh betrayal of the girl I liked, I shed tears of frustration. A traumatic experience during my high school days had made me incredibly shy and fearful when it came to romance. During my college days, I spent most of my time not interacting with others, and at the company I had barely managed to join, I continued to avoid contact with women as much as possible. I really wanted to fall in love, to spend joyful moments with a girl, to form a loving relationship and build a happy family. But as my fantasies grew, so did my frustration at my hesitation to act and my inferiority complex. On my way to and from work, I would see couples and feel a pang of envy and jealousy. Upon returning to my apartment,